All right, so in this video, we've learned how to set up our Smart Music account. We are in our Smart Music account, and it's time to do our work. So I'm going to preview as a person in beginning band. I'm going to select the class that I'm in, and you might see assignments due, and if you've completed work, you'll see recently graded assignment. So in this class, I can tell that I have an assignment called Movement for Rhythm Chart 1, Extra Practice 1, and it's due October 2nd. As a reminder, you can always check Canvas under the homepage reminders to see what work is due for the week. So, to start this assignment, I'm going to select the Start button. This is a rhythm assignment. So on rhythm assignments, you might not be given an option for your primary instrument to select. The only option here is piano. That's fine, because this is going to be a clapping assignment. Select OK. Then you'll see these directions. Every assignment will show you a set of directions. So in this one, we're going to record ourselves performing this exercise by playing on our mouthpiece. Percussionists would play with their sticks, and do not submit a score below 80%. So my general rule of thumb, unless it's specifically for a clapping activity, is that I don't want you submitting scores on Smart Music below 80%. The cool thing about Smart Music is you can keep on recording yourself until you get a good grade, a good score. So you get to choose what score you send to me, and you can keep on redoing these assignments and re-recording until you get a grade that you're happy to submit to me as the teacher. It also will probably tell you minimum tempo requirements. So this one's going to go at 100 beats per minute, and my helpful hint to my performers in this one is to watch out for the placement of the rests. Practice individual measures and lines before recording yourself. So then you see this screen, and it's essentially the exercise. You can scroll through it manually if it's a longer exercise using the scroll bar on the side. And then this is where Smart Music is pretty cool. You can also select specific measures to hear played by using and clicking with this mouse. So let's say I want to hear the entire piece being played. I would select the first measure, click on the first beat, and select this green button. This is going to move kind of like in one of those old school Mickey Mouse bounce number kind of sing-alongs. It's going to give you a highlight cursor to go along with the metronome. And you can tell the metronome is on because this little icon is red. If I wanted to hear what my part sounded like as well, I could also turn that on so it's red, and I'd hear what this would sound like. So to hear it, I'm going to click the green button. Now, let's say I'm having a hard time understanding a certain measure. I could go through and just select that measure. And let's say measure, this is oddly numbered. We're going to say this measure 17 is what's giving me a problem. I'm going to click on the first note there and then listen. So it always gives you a countdown in the time signature that you're in before you start. So instead of me saying 1, 2, ready, and basically Smart Music does that for you. If you want to slow down or speed up your practice tempos, in the left-hand corner, you have the tempo that you can adjust. So if you're struggling or you want to practice on a specific technique, you can slow down the tempo. And once you've mastered it at that tempo and you want to try it faster, you can click the plus sign or manually enter a faster tempo to increase that. Some assignments you might have to perform at a specific tempo, some might be a minimum tempo. So for this exercise, the tempo requirement is 100. Now let's say I've practiced this and I'm ready to submit. To submit, I would hit this red button. But check it out. It's not going to let me do that right now because I have my part selected in that red icon. So I need to reset to the assigned settings and to be able to record. So now I'm not going to hear my part going on with me. Next, it's going to ask you to test your microphone. If you have headphones plugged in, whether they're wireless or manual, you need to unplug these temporarily so it can test your mic. Then you select test your mic. And once that happens and it's tested, then you can plug your headphones back in. I strongly suggest it. And click start. Sometimes it takes a few tries to test your microphone. So if it gives you an error message, don't freak out. Just keep on trying it and eventually it will take. So now I'm going to do this exercise on the mouthpiece. To start, I'm going to select the start button. I'm going to stop though because I noticed where it was going to start was in the middle of the piece. So I also recommend before you hit record, make sure that you go back to the first measure so that you can record the whole thing. Now that I'm ready, my first beat is highlighted, I can go through and perform this. You'll hear me buzzing on a trumpet mouthpiece because that's the requirement that I saw in the beginning. Once I've finished, you'll see a score show up in the left-hand side. And then this is your percentage grade. This is the grade that gets submitted into Synergy. So make sure that it's above an 80 before you send it to me. Now check it out. Anytime I got a note right or a rest right, it turned green, which is great. This first note, I was a little late. So it shows you exactly where I started playing with this yellow note, which means I didn't quite get it right. I was close, but not quite there. If I missed a note or played during a rest, it highlighted it red. So I intentionally buzzed a few notes during rests or didn't buzz so that you could see the difference between when you're wrong and when you're right. Additionally, it's a good practice once you're done recording to click this blue arrow with the red. This means you can listen to your recording. When you submit assignments to me, this is how I double check your grade. Just also to listen to you play so I can give you specialized feedback. For clapping exercises, you might see a lot of red notes show up because speakers have a hard time and the microphones have a hard time understanding your clapping sounds. So, clapping exercises are the only exercises where if you don't get quite an 80, please submit it after you've listened to it to make sure that you're correct. If you believe you're correct, you can submit that to me and I will listen to it by clicking this button. So it gives me the opportunity to listen to the recording, and you can do that before you submit it to me. Once you've completed all these steps, finally, you're going to select the Submit button. Then you can type in any comments you want me to know. If you got distracted by a dog, or if you want me to check something else that maybe isn't assessed in this, you can type in the comment box here. I'm going to cancel for a second. And let's say you did a recording and you didn't like it. Maybe you didn't quite get the grade that you needed, or the grade that you wanted. You can re-record before you submit it by hitting the red button. And this just resets it so that you can go back and do it again as many times until you get that A, B minus minimum. So then you can click submit, and my comment is, this was brought to you by Oliver the cat. And then you click submit. It'll show you this processing screen. And once you see this screen where it says take submission succeeded, that means I received it as the teacher. So if you have any questions at all about Smart Music, you can send me an email through Canvas by going to your inbox. Oops, gotta make sure I'm in the right class. By going to your inbox, or going to class information, meet the teacher, and then email me. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy Smart Music.